What if I tell you that one single ball, a quiet, rolling delivery along the ground, changed the course of cricket history forever? It wasn't a fiery bouncer or a blazing yorker, but a calm, calculated underarm ball delivered not out of skill, but out of desperation. On a blistering February day in 1981 at the packed Melbourne cricket ground, Australia's captain Greg Chappell made a decision that would shock fans, outrage players, and echo through generations. This wasn't just a match between Australia and New Zealand. It was a clash of integrity and a test of sportsmanship, with a single underarm ball at the heart of cricket's darkest controversy. Australia and New Zealand were locked in a fierce five-match showdown in the Benson and Hedges World Series, with the series tied at 1-1. The third match was expected to be just another hard-fought game, but that day would become one of the most controversial in cricket history. Australia won the toss and opted to bat first, with Greg Chappell looking solid right from the start. He was building momentum, timing the ball beautifully, and looked set for a big score. But at 58, he seemed destined for a halt. Martin Sneeden took an extraordinary full-length diving catch that had the crowd roaring in appreciation.
What a catch! That is one of the best catches I've ever seen in my life.
Yet, as fans waited for the wicket to be confirmed, the umpire shocked everyone by ruling Chappell not out, claiming he hadn't seen the catch as he was looking at the batsman. The stadium's applause turned to murmurs of disbelief. Television replays showed Sneeden's catch was undoubtedly clean, leaving fans frustrated and questioning the decision. And if you're wondering why the umpire did not refer to the third umpire, here's the thing. Video umpiring was not around in those days. So while the entire stadium could see the replay on TV, the on-field umpire did not have the luxury of technology to confirm what millions could see was out. And as shocking as it may sound, it wasn't even the most controversial moment of the match. Chappell capitalized on the opportunity, adding 32 more runs to his score. Ironically, he was eventually dismissed in a similar fashion, caught once again, but this time, the umpires had a clear view. Chappell's composed 90-run innings helped Australia post a strong total of 235 for 4. Now, it was New Zealand's turn to chase. A chase that would lead to one of the most controversial moments in cricket history. One man, Bruce Edgar, would carry the weight of his team. He played like a warrior, hitting boundaries, running hard, and clawing New Zealand closer to their target. The crowd could feel it. This was going to be close. New Zealand was putting up a fight, with Edgar's brilliant performance keeping them in the game. But as the final over loomed, Australia's desperation mounted. Every ball, every second, every heartbeat brought them closer to an impossible decision. It was here that the drama began to peak. Greg Chappell had inadvertently miscalculated his bowling rotations. Dennis Lillee, Australia's best bowler, had finished his 10-over limit, and the final over fell to Greg's brother, Trevor Chappell. The responsibility was immense, and the tension was palpable. Every eye in the stadium, every viewer on television held their breath. Could he handle the pressure? Could New Zealand pull off a miraculous win? Tensions were at an all-time high as the MCG crowd of over 52,000 watched in anticipation. New Zealand needed 15 runs to win. Richard Hadlee, New Zealand's legendary all-rounder, faced the first delivery. He smashed it for a boundary, but on the second ball, Hadlee was out LBW. It looked like it had pitched outside leg, but the umpire's finger shot up. Hadlee was gone, and with him, a little more of New Zealand's hope. New Zealand needed a miracle. Bruce Edgar, having crafted a gritty 102, was stranded, unable to take the strike, and Australia crept closer to victory. Soon, the equation came down to a nearly impossible target. New Zealand required 7 runs of just one ball. It was all down to Brian McKechnie, New Zealand's number 10. They needed 6 of the final ball to tie. But come on, how on earth would a tailender hit a 6 in that huge Melbourne cricket ground? No one else had managed to hit a 6 at the MCG in the previous 599 deliveries. So the prospect of McKechnie achieving this was slim to none.
McKechnie comes out, and from what we've seen, as I said, he couldn't hit the skin off a rice pudding. Built like Tarzan, bats like Jane. He's not going to hit it anywhere at all, McKechnie.
But no one could have anticipated what would happen next. In a moment that would forever change the course of his career, Greg Chappell made a decision. To prevent any chance of a sixth, he instructed Trevor to bowl the final ball underarm.
It looks to me as if they're going to bowl underarm off the last ball. Rod Marsh is saying no, mate, but I'm sure he's going to bowl an underarm delivery.
In the commentary box, Greg's elder brother Ian Chappell was watching with shock and disgust. No, Greg, no. You can't do that. McKechnie couldn't believe it. The ball rolled around the ground. His chance of a miracle was snatched away by an underarm delivery. An anticlimactic end to a dramatic chase. Furious, he threw his bat away in disgust. Australia had won the match by 6 runs, but the manner of the victory left fans and players stunned. In the tense moments leading up to the final ball, a crucial detail went unnoticed. Dennis Lillee hadn't taken his position within the field restriction area. Technically, this meant the ball should have been called a no ball, as Australia had too many fielders outside the restricted zone. Had the umpires caught this, New Zealand would have been awarded an extra run, and the final ball would have needed to be bowled again. After the final ball, New Zealand captain Jeffrey Howarth rushed onto the field to protest, arguing that underarm bowling was illegal. The cricket world did not stay silent.
I think it was a disgraceful performance from a captain who got his sums wrong today, and I think it should never be permitted to happen again.
Ian Chappell questioned his brother's sense of pride, asking, Greg, how much pride do you sacrifice to win $35,000? Because brother, you sacrificed a lot in front of a huge TV audience and 52,825 people. Prime Minister of both nations gave a statement on this incident.
Greg Chappell's actions as an act of cowardice, the most disgusting episode that I could recall in the history of cricket.
Years later, Greg Chappell reflected on the incident with regret.
And this young girl tugged on my shirt sleeve, and I looked down at her and she was looking up at me and she said, "You cheated." At that moment, I thought that this might be a bit bigger than I'd even imagined.
In later years, Greg Chappell claimed that he had been exhausted and stressed after a demanding season of cricket, and that, in hindsight, he was not mentally fit to be captain at the time. Chappell had been on the field for most of the match under stifling heat, and by the 40th over of New Zealand's innings, he told wicketkeeper Rod Marsh he wanted to leave, but Marsh insisted he stay. Chappell continued to lead, but spent several overs fielding on the boundary, struggling under the pressure and harsh conditions. Chappell explained the underarm had very little to do with winning that game of cricket, because, in fact, we'd won the game. They weren't going to get 6 of the last ball of the game. It was my statement. My cry for help was, "You're not listening. This might help you sit up and take notice." The underarm incident sparked a year of bitterness. The following year, when Australia toured New Zealand, fans at Eden Park rolled a lawn ball onto the field to mock the infamous underarm delivery. But more than the ridicule, this incident led to a pivotal change in cricket laws. The International Cricket Council quickly banned underarm bowling in all official matches, stating that it was not within the spirit of the game. In the end, Australia may have won the match, but they lost something far more valuable. The legacy of the underarm incident remains a powerful reminder of the line between victory and integrity. A line that once crossed leaves a stain that no rule book can ever erase. So guys, that's it for today's video. But wait, don't go anywhere. If you wish to look at how good was Brett Lee or how Viv Richards destroyed England alone in 1984, click on one of the videos being displayed on your screen. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Until next time, keep watching this beautiful game. See you soon.